DNA?
The concept for DNA, to be honest with you, like my first album was just pure drum and bass. Like everyone that knows me knows that I like to experiment in other genres, house, techno. This time I wanted to invite people deeper into myself, into my head, DNA, and yeah, I'm really happy with the result. The aims for the album, well, for one, it was just a concrete that I could do other styles to people and authentically as well, because that's really important to me. I don't want to be a drum and bass producer making a techno tune that sounds like a drum and bass producer making a techno tune. Do you know what I mean? So I wanted to I studied all of the subgenres, all of the genres, made sure they're authentic to the name. So yeah, the album clicked into place probably around last, I don't know, maybe September, November time. It was actually my manager, big up Max, who put the idea towards me to do an album. I was a bit like, oh, am I ready? Is it the right time? But to be honest with you, I'm glad I did. And it clicked into place around that kind of time there, really. And the concept was born pretty quickly. I wanted to we thought of quite a lot of names, but DNA just seemed to make more sense. And when I started the album, I wanted to make sure I had, an album's a body of work, it's not just a collection of tracks. I wanted to make sure there was a journey there, I wanted to make sure I had something for everyone, whether that be a liquid tune, house tune, drum and bass, jump up, classic Turno stuff. I wanted to bridge the gap, and also the actual track listing of the album is very important. I think if you listen to it from start to end, that was something I really took time into, making sure the listener really understood the journey or the picture I was trying to paint. So hopefully it come off that way. What tunes am I banging at the moment? To be fair, quite a range of stuff, man. I'm proper into my house and techno, as people know. So the obvious names really, man. When it comes to my drum and bass, obviously I've been out the game for 7 months, as everyone else has, but a couple sets. Luckily I had a couple sets the other week, so I had to get back in the game. But people like Sota, Jappa's another one. That Disruptor dude is killing it, bruv. So yeah, there's some really good names about at the moment. But yeah, to be fair, my music taste is pretty open, man. If I'm going out, it's gotta be house, techno, or drum and bass. But if I'm just chilling in the whip, I listen to everything. One Extra's on the dial, man's got the DAB, so that's getting locked a lot of the time. But yeah, man, I'm pretty open to styles. But yeah, if I'm getting down to it, man, it's definitely house, techno, or DNB.
If only you knew.
Right, the creative process for a lot of the tracks on the album, a lot of them have got, I say, themes, that they're contextual. I like to do that a lot, so I know what kind of direction I'm going in. But obviously, because I wanted to keep, there's a very heavy techno house influence even on the drum and bass tunes, like the intro DNA track, or obviously the tune that's called Techno, which transitions into techno in the middle of it, or house, should I say. But I really like submerging myself in the genre and being authentic. So for instance, I don't know, let's say with Tom in the Chamber, we done If Only with, I actually met him in here, funnily enough, and he's an engineer for Mac, and he's a really good artist as well. And literally, I remember I was actually going for Tyler Daly, so that's the name I was actually going for. I wanted to make something like The View, which he done, but I don't know, for some reason it didn't happen. And then I just messaged Tom in the Chamber because I heard some of his stuff, and I was like, I wonder what he could do on a drum and bass tune. I made this soulful thing, sent it to him, and literally within 15 minutes he slapped it, come back with a hook that was sicker than what I thought he could even do. So that was really inspiring. Then we end up finishing it here. The tune with Janice, for instance, she's an old school legend, man, for Living Joy, I'm a dreamer, massive tune from back in the day. And literally the way that happened was we were watching X Factor, and I was with my mate actually, Fizzy, and we were talking about getting a vocalist on this track, and he said oh, what about this Janice girl who's on X Factor? And I was like, yeah, X Factor, yeah. Anyway, watched her, and she was the original when she smashed it. And from there, literally hit her up on Insta, got management to shout her. The week after, bruv, we were sitting in Fizzy's house, and she FaceTimed me from obviously LA or America. I can't remember, obviously America, but I can't remember where she's from. She's FaceTimed me from the studio, and I was like, we were both looking at each other what the fuck, man, this is mad. I was on the phone, I was trying to do my hair and that, and she's proper, larger than life, lovely woman, proper vibe, man, and it was just crazy, man. It felt mad to think a week ago we just thought of this, and a week later it's actually happening. So to be honest, a lot of the features I've had on the album, Flow Down as well, the tune with Annex, that we made that 2 years ago, but we couldn't get the drop right. Mike will know and Scott will know the pain it took us to get that tune to where it was. And then yeah, eventually after we done, we had an idea we wanted to kind of have like a vocal on it, like a ragga vocal, and Flow Dan was a great example of that, and luckily he loved it, and it went from there. Rico as well, like that was so effortless, it seemed like, for him, man. I just sent him the instrumental, we sent back full rhythm, and I was like, wow, bruv, you've actually slicked this off, man, better than what I thought again. So I'm really thankful for everyone that has been involved in the album, man, because it's made it what it is. I wanted to show like people that I wanted to make more song stuff as well, rather than just like bangers, man, that everyone's kind of, I suppose, used to me for. So creative process this time has been much more different than my last album. Last time it was very solo based, very studio based. This one I've traveled around like to different studios. I've worked in different studios, I've worked with different artists. So I've learned a lot of creative processes through that, man. So yeah, it's definitely made me a better artist, and really excited about the future. To be honest with you, like, people that have followed me for a while know that I'm quite voiced about that. I don't really hide it. I'm very open to that kind of stuff. At the same time, yeah, I do know that a lot of drum and bass fans are passionate, because I was one of them dudes back in the day, like when I was like before a DJ, and I used to hate anything but jump up. I was like, Liquid, fuck that. What, fucking what? Nah. I wouldn't even give it a time of day, bruv. But now I'm older and it opened up to it more. You can't make the same shit for the rest of your life every single day in it. So you naturally will gravitate towards other subgenres and other genres. And ultimately that's gonna make you a better producer, a better artist, and a better person as well, man, because you can't listen to the same stuff every day. But basically, I was gonna put more house and techno on there, but management were like, kind of like, and I was kind of like, come on, man. But I'm kind of glad I didn't, in a way, because I feel like there's 2 tunes on there that are really representative of what I wanna kind of bring and what I can do. So, yeah, to be honest with you, it's actually really surprising, that transition on the album, which is a techno tune, progressive kind of thing, that has had a lot of people, a lot of drum and bass guys, fans, that have messaged me and said that's one of their favourite tunes on there. So this is what I'm saying, this is why I was confident in doing it. Like, obviously I've got to respect that I don't want to have a full techno album, because people are going to be like, who's Turno anymore? But I mean, like, I have to introduce these flavours. And I'm actually really happy with the response. Like, there's not been anyone that said to me, oh, why did you put house on there? Why did you? It seems like everyone is respecting it now. I think back in the day, like about 5 or 6 years ago, I don't know, like, people were very passionate. They still are. I mean, people now are a lot more open, like with bassline and stuff kind of being very much in the same box as drum and bass, especially jump up now with the raves and that, and a lot more mixed genre kind of festivals and stuff. People are accepting it a lot more. So I'm really happy, because to be honest with you, I want to really run down that route, man. So get ready for a hell of more of them. Ooh, that's my personal favourite track. Do you know what, man? It's actually hard to nail down. I'll tell you a couple. I really like, and this is no gas, the If Only tune for me is something that I've never really done before. Like, I think it sounds so fresh, and I really like it. That's something that I will play for the rest of my career, man. Or respect that track. You know, you get the standout tracks that you're like, yeah, you know, I'm glad, I'm happy, I'm proud I made that. The Rico tune as well, really loved that. Like, obviously I took a twist on the old Beg Friend kind of style, so I kind of tried to bring it back when he just like brought it to 2020, man, and really smashed it. Like, to be honest, it's hard. Like, I'm even thinking about it now. The Rapture tune with My New Leng, that is flipping crazy. Like, I love it. I love the progression of it. I love the process, again, how we made that, went down to theirs. That was about 2 years old as well. It's hard, because you think about the journey of how long they've taken some of them, and how much like effort and work has gone into it. People don't really see that. Like, some of them are 2 years old, some of them like have been like hanging on in it, like nah, shall we chuck it? And then something comes into your head, like, and then you kind of finish it. So yeah, it's hard to really pinpoint one. The intro as well, the DNA tune, like, I'm not really doing well, I'm just picking every rhythm, but I'll tell you what, I'm gonna pick 3, and I'm gonna go DNA, because like, it's the title track. I think it's a good representation of where I'm at now, like 2020 Turno. I think the Rico tune, because it's a good little fusion of like an old style of mine, and obviously Rico smashed it off. And I'm gonna say If Only in it, because for me, I've not done a tune like that before. I've not heard anything like that before, like what Tom did to it. So yeah, let's leave it there, otherwise I'm gonna gas for a minute. Well, to be honest with you, it has to be techno, like literally has to be techno, because that has drum and bass. It starts as a drum and bass track, and then it transitions into like a 4/4-1/2/4 house tech kind of track. So for me, and that actually started as a tech house track I made about 2-3 years ago, which to just sat there, and someone, is actually Josh from D&B All Stars, like, he actually said to me, why don't you make that into a drum and bass tune? And it kind of made me think, and I sat on it for a minute. Then when the album idea came out, I was like, yeah, do you know what, I'm gonna do that for the album. And thank fuck I did, man. So royalties in the post to you, G. But yeah, that's definitely the track, because it represents where I'm at right now the most, like in regards to like my house flavors, my techno flavors, my drum and bass kind of signature sound, but just something again that's quite different and creative, man.
Yo, Mayday, we wound them, we carbine, we come.
What's my favorite vocal feature on the album? This is gonna be a hard one, isn't it? Like no biased vibes here, but again, I'm gonna have to pick more than one, like, and it's probably gonna be the same one. Like, working with Janice was amazing, really, really good experience. Like, what she brought to the table was like not only nostalgic, but just like, I've just never heard anything like, I've never worked with someone like before. Like that was a really, really interesting process, man. Like, it was a mission to fix your vocals. I'm not gonna say, well, actually, hold tight, Tom, for doing them. But it was a mission, but still, like that for me, because I've never done anything like before, like, and I wanted to really create like a nostalgic kind of vibe, and to have her as a final piece of the puzzle, that for me meant a lot. So I think that is definitely one of my favourites. Also, I'm gonna have to mention Rico as well. Like, you are someone who I've wanted to work with for years, bro. Like, and to be honest with you, like, you absolutely shelled it, man. Like, you put that just like roughneck sound, bruv. You put that vibe into that tune, man, and brought it to life, man. You made an instrumental into a song, G. So I respect you for that, man, and thank you very much. So, how is this different from Power? Well, Power, my last album was, I think, 3 or 4 years ago now, and it was solely drum and bass. I hold tight Logan and Lolan D for putting it out, and it was really a big moment for me. I even won an award for it, so I'm really, really grateful how it was received. It's different because, for one, it's just a much more evolved Turno sound, man. Like, there was no other genres on my last album. This one's got like house. It's got some like old kind of school, kind of 160 BPM, like rave inspired stuff. It's got techno. There's different flavors, man. Like, and also a bassline track with Zero as well, which is like, again, which is completely different. I've never done anything like before. So this one is definitely a much more evolved Turno sound, a much more of like an open-minded Turno, and just kind of, yeah, man, just a more, I suppose, mature Turno, because, yeah, like, this is going to set up where I'm going now, and I'm going to be moving in this direction, like, and really experimenting with so many different flavors, even more so, because ultimately, man, you get one life. Like, you don't want to be stuck in one little hole, and you want to literally do as much as you possibly can. All these little subgenres and other music I listen to and make, like, it only inspires my drum and bass even more. So something I would definitely say to, like, as advice to aspiring producers, or even people that haven't tried it, is don't stick yourself in a box, man. Like, definitely try other things, new genres, bring them kind of vibes into your drum and bass as well, or into whatever you're making, because ultimately you will come up with some new formula that will be totally original, but still pay homage to the styles you're trying to mimic. So yeah, definitely a bit of advice from Maggie. What's changed since Power? Well, pretty much what I said before. I've just evolved a lot. Like, got older, a couple more grey hairs maybe. Yeah, and I've just expanded my sound, really, like, and ultimately, just, I think the barriers have gone down a bit. So I'm a lot more open now to, like, putting out stuff that maybe wasn't before. I've got my own label. It come out on my own label. The DNA LP is the first release, so I've got my own imprint now. So just beware. You don't know where I'm going to go next, but I mean, I'm still going to be paying homage to what people know me for, but I'm definitely going to be experimenting a lot more. Well, like I said, I'm very contextual, so I would have said, right, I need 3 Turno bangers, I need a couple collabs, I need, I don't know, a liquid tune, I need an experimental tune, I need a couple of, like, other genre tunes as well, and that's kind of how I'll sit down and do it. A lot of the tracks, I think in December last year, I basically got loads of the ideas down. I just spent a whole, I think 2-3 days, maybe even a week actually, just going through all old projects, basically making a condensed DNA folder which had, like, samples in, like, all my old, just basically loads of my sounds in it. I spent a good week making kick snares, and etc., running breaks through here, and just basically preparing in it. So it means the creative process for me was as creative as possible. It wasn't a case of, like, me having to, I don't know, where's that snare I'm looking for? Where's that sample? It's all condensed in one pack. So I literally just rinsed it in December, made a lot of the ideas, saying that a lot, some of them were actually made in lockdown, which is kind of crazy. And the mad thing is actually not being able to play some of these rhythms out, like before they're getting released. So kind of weird giving away your utes, man, to people that people can play them out before you can even play them out, or you can't even have it on dub anymore. So, but it was definitely a weird experience, but I'm glad that I've released it when I did. I was in two minds whether to keep it, but I thought, you know what, some of these tunes, I want to get them out there as soon as possible, really. I don't want to be holding weight on this. There was quite a weight on my shoulders as well to kind of try and finish this. So now it's done and it's out there and it's been received so well. I'm like literally bare pleased, man. Will I ever do a bass? Well, look, me and Zero have already spoke about doing another tune. Yeah, so that's definitely going to happen, I'm sure. Like, he's a G, basically, man. And I think he's going to go really far. And I think he's someone that yeah, mate, really got a lot of love for. So we'll definitely be doing more tunes together. Whether I do it on my own, I'm not sure, but you never know, innit? In my head, I've got like fun, but also like the length it's taken to make some tunes of the process. Like the Annex one, I would call it fun, but they'll probably say the same as me, that it was definitely a grueling process. It took us 2 years, innit? So that's something that took a while. To be honest, again, I keep coming back to this Tom in the Chamber tune, but that was made like through me wanting to make a tune. I think I heard The View in the car or something. I was like, right. I remember being at home, I was like, fuck this, I'm going to the studio now. And I literally just battered it out in like an hour. Just very basic, but the next day sent it to him, and that evolved really quick. So I was really, really excited about that. The Janice one, again, fun to make. Like the techno tune was really fun to make because it was like, it was a transition from a drum and bass to a techno kind of sound. Like the one with the Hypnotic, Ad Hypno, like Creature, that's something we made, like we were pretty mashed up actually one night. I think it was a couple years ago in my studio, and we just slapped out a rhythm. It's a really nice feeling when you can get everything out of here onto a page, like without any problems. It doesn't happen a lot, but when you do get that inspiration, make sure you run with it, geez. How do I get in focus? I'm quite funny about the, well, funny man, but I mean, I'm quite vigilant about, obviously, you know, like cold showers, like that Wim Hof dude, breathing techniques. Like if you don't know who he is, check him out. Just things to get your mindset in the right place, man. Even like on my phone as well. I'm not gonna lie, the last couple of weeks been pretty bad at it, but still, I've got like a lock, so I can't go on social media before 10 AM, and it locks off at 3 AM as well. Like obviously I can override it, but more time you won't. And that means you wake up in the morning and you're not looking at everyone's life. You're literally getting up, getting in your cold shower, trust me, do it, and then coming out and you've already had a win because you've done the cold shower, you feel great, look to your feet, have to really look at your phone, straight in work mode, and then you're focused, innit? Like, in regards to like, preparing as well, it's just a case of just being organized, man. Like I said a minute ago, like with the folder for DNA stuff, like I've taught a lot of people, and some people's desktops give me anxiety, bruv. Like, you know what I mean? It's too much going on the thing. You need to like organize stuff. If you want to find something, like, do you know what, Annex is a big one for that. His desktop, I nearly fainted when I see it, man. It's crazy, like. But yeah, just organization, preparing. If you know you're going to be in a studio tomorrow, today, why don't you prepare what kind of vibe you want to get down, or maybe look for samples or condensed samples that you've got already of your own sound. Just have a plan in it. It's like anything, you're not going to build a house without a plan. So my best advice to anyone out there is just to plan for it, prepare, focus. Obviously you can do well-being exercises to kind of get your head in the right place, but ultimately if you're going into a messy room with no plan, the chances are it's not really going to run, man. So just prepare, my G's. The LP's made for you, my G's. Like all of you lot for just inspiring me over the last 10 years, man. Like it's just, I don't know, like it's just all part and parcel of the journey. Like all the raves I've played. Like one thing I will say is, like, since obviously lockdown and not being able to DJ, I didn't realise how much inspiration I get from you lot, from just playing out, from the energy I get. Like the DNA track, the title track, was actually made when I got that Malta booking, which flopped, unfortunately, in the end. But I mean, just the energy of that booking got me, made me make the title track to my album, bruv. So again, kudos to the booking. But I mean, like, just the inspiration you get from playing out, just doing what you love, man. Like I say, I've missed everything from the shit hotels to the sleepless nights to the shit hotel food, everything, to meeting you like every week. Like just the energy I get. Luckily, I managed to do my album launch party, which was so sick. Thank you everyone that come to that. It was literally one of the littest nights, the best night of my year for me, and I'll remember it forever, especially in the circumstances, man. So yeah, it's literally made for all of you lot, man. And like I say, it's been really, really well received. Like, as cliche as it sounds, man. Yeah, from me to you, my G's.